This movie goes above and beyond, but I didn't like it. Their chemistry is fine. Alison Brie and Dave Franco do just fine, but I just didn't believe them. All the stuff that happens in this movie is bonkers and interesting and sometimes fun, but also crazy and like, what? Something about it just threw me off and put me in a place of like not liking it. I think the elements, the way they crafted it, barring their specific acting in a lot of moments, how they present the plot elements, like the twist being that the guy next door is part of the cult, like it's very cliche, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And all those cliche moments are fine. It's not like it takes away from the film. It's just very predictable. The good things in this are the eeriness, suspense, the horrific, the body horror stuff is great and well done and gross and absolutely top-notch body horror. And the best thing about this movie is that it's a metaphor for their relationship and how they finish that off with, literally becoming one person. I think they missed the opportunity to use a Christian reference on top of the Greek/cult reference to become one flesh. But, barring that element being infused to create a new layer, it works. It's neat that they choose each other and that's what saves them. Keeps the story interesting at the end. And, giving us that last shot of being able to see them as one person was definitely intriguing. And it definitely brings up a lot of questions about what sex is, what we are as a couple, and what that means for our identity and how we see those as separate versus not separate. And do you need that other person in your life? Are you self-actualized if you are with somebody else? Like, there's a lot of these really deep questions that they're playing with that I think are what make the movie good. But overall, just for some reason, I just came out not having enjoyed myself as much as I thought I would for someone who enjoys body horror and horror movies. And most of that came from like maybe my disapproval, if you will, of the first scene of killing the dogs. I own a border collie, so didn't like that very much. So I think maybe that just put a bad taste in my mouth. And then the acting, to me, when I've seen both of them kill it, felt a little subpar in some of the parts of the movie that were a little less bombastic. When they're going off or they're, crying or yelling, it's sometimes very comical, but also because Dave Franco and Alison Brie are amazing. But there was just moments where I just didn't believe them, and I wanted to believe them. And so, yeah, I think the two best things from this movie, right, are the relationship being a metaphor throughout the body horror, right? Like, it's literally just a one-for-one. They're separate and now they're coming together, and like literally they have to accept and become one. And then the second part is all the tropes they use from horror movies, because the jump scares and like the horror elements that are at play here when it comes to specific tropes from horror movies are at the top level, man. Like, it's almost like they were pulling from all sorts of different horror movies to get these tropes to work. Like, everything in the first 30 to 40 minutes feels like a supernatural horror film, not a body horror film, because it's playing with their perceptions and how they're feeling, and like he's got some PTSD with his parents, like, and fair enough, he does. I feel like they took a bite out of Midsommar a little bit there, and you should go check out my Ari Aster review of Eddington after this one. But yeah, I think this movie is above and beyond. I do. I think this is crafted really, really well. And the team of Dave Franco and Alison Brie is not something that should be scoffed at. They're amazing. But for some reason, I didn't enjoy this one as much. And I wanted to. I really did, because I like body horror. I mean, Substance was one of my favorite movies of last year, and I was hoping for a similar thing, and I got a similar thing, but it just didn't land as good for me. But I'd be interested what you guys think, because, pulling in those other horror tropes and being able to kind of use a normal one, which is like, the guy in the cult is next door and like he knows what's going on, and then they, have to deal with the bad thing that the cult did. Like, it's very normal, very predictable storyline. And so I'm curious if you guys thought it worked, or if you, kind of feel the same way I did, where there was something missing, or did you think that metaphorical underlying one-for-one relationship versus body horror was good and worked? Then let me know down in the comments. I definitely am needing some feedback on this one, because I was torn. It took me a minute to like even want to make a review, because I just came out of it going, what? But yeah, if you're looking for a body horror movie, this one will do. Anyway, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.